I think we all understand that sugar generally is bad for your diet. Of course, everything in moderation and all that crap, but when it just simply sneaks into your food, whether through illicit or otherwise undisclosed means, it could be even worse for you. The truth about how hidden sugar is damaging your health. Let's take a look at this. Sugar. We all love it. I guess it enhances flavors and so. Okay, bro, let's just move on. It was once thought that only concern with eating too much sugar was cavities and might crowd out healthier foods. However, recent research suggests that sugar's effects on the body go far beyond this. Research has discovered that a regular sugar consumption can rewire the brain, altering memory, impulse control, and emotion regulation. Interesting. Okay, it kind of acts like a antidepressant? Okay, cognitive function. Yes, consumption of high sugar diets can lead to increased neuroinflammation, which is linked to memory deficit. High sugar diets interfere with the brain's ability to form new connections, making it harder to learn, retain information, and adapt to new information. Mood and mental health. Sugar disrupts dopamine signaling. Oh, okay. Altering the brain's reward system and making cravings harder to resist. It also interferes with mood regulation and emotional stability, increasing the risk of depression, stress-related eating, and mood swings. Over time, these brain chemistry changes weaken emotional control, fuel cravings for ultra-processed foods, but sugar doesn't just impact the brain. It also has profound effects on the body's metabolism. Excess sugar disrupts metabolic health, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and chronic inflammation. High added sugar intake raises blood pressure, promotes insulin resistance, and has been linked to poorer heart health and a higher risk of cardiovascular complications. Beyond metabolic health, some research suggests that excessive sugar intake may also create conditions that promote cancer growth. I think we did a couple of videos on that before, so yeah. It's interesting how certain cancerous cells and growths will go ahead and feed on sugar. It also disrupts your gut microbiome if that is also a concern for you. There is a common misconception that eating sugar directly feeds cancer cells. In reality, all carbohydrates, whether from table sugar, oats, or vegetables, are broken down into glucose, which the body uses for energy, which is, of course, a base level of sugar. And the body doesn't distinguish between glucose from a spoonful of sugar and glucose from a bowl of oats, but it does distinguish the difference between glucose and fructose. Fructose is the naturally occurring sugar found in, you guessed it, fruits after all, and it can only be processed by the liver. And so with that being the case, if you have excess sugar in your body and your liver is already overtaxed, well, guess what? That just ends up getting stored and ends up over time, after a certain amount of accumulation, ends up to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. However, some research suggests excessive sugar consumption may increase cancer risk indirectly by raising blood sugar and insulin levels. Chronically high blood sugar stimulates the release of insulin and growth hormones and promotes cell growth, including in damaged and precancerous cells. Increasing oxidative stress. High sugar intake triggers oxidation, leading to DNA damage and inflammation, both of which can contribute to cancer development. And fueling a metabolic shift. Some research suggests high sugar diets may accelerate cancer development by altering how cells use energy, enhancing growth signaling pathways, and suppressing immune deficiency. How much sugar is too much? Well, let's take a look so you don't have to worry about too many detrimental health problems. WHO recommends limiting added sugar to 50 grams per day, about 12 teaspoons, but for optimal health, the target is even lower at about 25 grams per day, 6 teaspoons. However, it's important to note that these guidelines apply only to added sugars. Not all sugars are created equal. Naturally occurring sugars, like those in fruits, vegetables, and dairy, contain fiber, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and phytonutrients. And that's also if they're found in their natural form. But if you just end up juicing stuff, you end up compromising the fiber quality, and ergo, you end up neutralizing a lot of the benefits of eating fruit. In contrast, added sugars, commonly found in ultra-processed foods, are added during manufacturing, and they are the ones linked to adverse health outcomes. So yes, long story short, I'm just telling you something you already know. Sugar is bad for you. You just probably didn't realize how bad it was for you. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.